Hi, I'm Ally Keegan, and I am a criminal defense attorney at the law office of David Shapiro in San Diego, where we help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Now, there are a couple different types of sentencing in California if you are facing a criminal case, but one common one is where you might agree to either have your sentencing be open, where you don't actually know what kind of sentence you'll receive at the end of it, or it might be within a range of custody time or something like that, but you don't actually know what your specific sentence will be until the day of your sentencing hearing. Of course, there are other options where you might know exactly what your sentence would be ahead of time, but this video is specifically to help you understand what might be helpful to prepare for that sentencing hearing for those days where you might have a deal sort of worked out, or the judge is going to determine your sentence and you want to present the best case you can to get the lightest and most lenient sentence possible for yourself. So a couple things you want to get together or at least think about ahead of time. One is character letters. It is one of the most common things clients think of and ask about, and for a good reason, because they can be helpful. These are letters from your family or friends or colleagues about your typical character and how you're better than this one decision you made for this one case, and how it was completely abnormal for you to do this one thing if you did anything at all. So there's an entire different video we do about what specifically you want to put in character letters that you can check out. But character letters are definitely something you want to consider for these hearings. Another consideration that you're going to want to think about is whether you've done any sort of treatment or self-improvement classes that you pursued maybe after you were charged or ahead of your sentencing to show that, one, you're taking this very seriously, and two, if your actions were triggered or caused by any underlying issues, that you understand that and you're addressing them. So this can take a couple different forms. One is medical treatment or psychological treatment to address any underlying mental health issues. It can also be for substance abuse issues, be it a full residential treatment program or intensive outpatient treatment if you're going to AAs or NA meetings. All of that is something that could be useful for the judge to consider by the time of your sentencing. So if that applies to you, make sure your attorney knows about it and you provide that to them ahead of time. The classes for self-improvement or treatment can also take less traditional forms. It might be an anger management class or parenting classes, anything like that you might have that you've done since your case began and ahead of your sentencing. Make sure your attorney knows so that they can incorporate that into their argument on your behalf. And then another thing you want to show the court is basically how you've been productive, a productive member of society. And that can take a bunch of forms too. It can be how you've been working and you've been consistently employed for a long time, which would require proof of employment, what your work schedule looks like, what your specific duties are, and things like that. But it can also be if you're younger or you're pursuing a different career and you're in school and taking classes to improve your future employment prospects or just improve your foundational knowledge of something so you can pursue other things. That's also super helpful. And you would want proof of enrollment in school, maybe your transcript if you have great grades, things like that can also help. And then finally, another really common thing that can help is anything that shows your involvement in the community and how you add to your community when you're out of custody and when you're permitted to be a member of society. And that could be if you volunteer, if you work for nonprofit or charity organizations, that could be really great. If you're involved in your church or your kids' school, you coach their little league team, anything like that, that shows that you are a human being that has goals and things to do to keep yourself busy that are contributing to society, are all things that help the court when they're seeing however many people that come across their bench a day. Help them understand that you are a human like everyone else. And even if you did something wrong and you maybe made a questionable life choice at one point in your life, that is not a reflection of your overall character, and that you are just as deserving as anyone else of a second chance. And that if you've already taken steps to turn it around, you'll have a great chance at success in the future as well. And that's why these are all things you want to consider getting together at your sentencing hearing, so that your attorney can help you put it all together, come up with a great argument on your behalf, and then present it to the court to put you in the best position they can. So if you are charged with a criminal case in San Diego and you want to explore your options, see what kind of sentencing parameters you might be exposed to because of your charges, or if you're preparing for your sentencing hearing and have questions, go ahead and give us a call. Our phone number is 619-295-3555.